Explore the art of winning people over with Robert Greene's The Art of Seduction. Divided into two captivating parts, Greene's work first shares tales of charismatic individuals and then delves into their precise strategies. We're creating 35 video episodes to guide you through these techniques. In episode 7, discover Greene's analysis of the charmer archetype, adept at disarming and captivating through subtle social skills. Uncover their primary tactics. Charmers possess almost supernatural levels of patience and focus when talking one-on-one. As their target speaks, the charmer leans in, nodding along fully with big, curious eyes and a kind smile. They sprinkle the chat with small encouragements. Go on, really, to avoid any awkward gaps. Their listening presence is active rather than passive. They'll remember small details the target mentioned weeks ago, subtly showing they give their full undivided attention and memory. When it's their turn, charmers avoid talking too much about themselves, instead asking probing questions to get their prey to share more. For example, if the target likes jazz, the charmer won't just agree, but ask further. Ah, very cool. What drew you to that kind initially? Which artists or albums had the biggest impact? This deepening of the courting continues until the target feels the charmer truly gets them at their core. Once they've mapped the target's interests and insecurities, charmers relentlessly personalize their behavior to those study results. They'll surprise the target by baking their favorite pie, striking up convos about the target's hometown dimly recalled from past talks, or gift small knickknacks that play into their signaled hobbies or passions. Each rapturous delight triggers the target to think, wow, they really know me in a way nobody else does. And as their detailed attentiveness wins the target over, the charmer self-effacingly fades into the background, shifting focus everywhere but themselves to prevent any egocentric perception. Pleasure is the silkiest chains. Walking into any event hosted by a skilled charmer is an experience of sensory overload and indulgence tailored exactly for you. The playlists match your musical tastes to a T. Table decorations display your preferred color palettes and flower varieties. The menu features all of your culinary favorite indulgences prepared with perfect execution at their peak. The moods conjured by these environments are meticulous emotional choreographies. If the target loves fancy luxury, the setting will be draped in opulence. For those craving quaint, cozy charm, the charmer arranges something delightfully rustic. An air of relaxation, intimacy, and positive energy permeates regardless of the look. The charmer works tirelessly as an unseen puppet master to create these moods, discreetly applying social CPR whenever energy starts to flag. If a lull settles over conversations, they swoop in to joke, tease, or prime a new story or topic, showing their talents and wit. One-on-one, they show confidence by leaning back and patting their knee when making a point. No social details are too small for a charmer's control. If the target prefers smoky jazz clubs, might the fireplace be lit or subdued mood lighting set? Love wine? Glassware quality will be impeccable. Dislike cigarettes? Not even a whiff would be detected. Any oversight breaking immersion will have been nitpicked to perfection before the event. The charmer's socializing style is a constant audition as led in whatever passion project your greatest unfulfilled dream demands. Art. They'll mimic an eccentric brooding genius persona. Travel. They become a wandering philosopher. Goals change constantly as they decode what role and storyline you crave starring in most. Patient warriors wield no weapons. Hot anger and pride can erupt unpredictably from any human, and even charmers aren't immune to blind spots that inadvertently cause offense. When critics rise up to impugn or confront them, charmers perform masterful aikido deflections rather than escalating hostility. Their secret weapon is bottomless humility and willingness to profusely validate detractor stances without defensiveness. You're absolutely right. That was foolish of me, they admitted if wrong, staving off any compounding fury. If criticized on ideological grounds, they respond with respectful curiosity. That's a very interesting viewpoint. I'd be fascinated to understand your philosophy better. The theme is always empathy, rapport, and eager agreement, rather than conflict. Crucially, this diffuses antagonist motivation before pivoting to gently suggest each party has misunderstood the other's noble intentions and moving on to more positive topics. Feuding jibes that might spark a downward spiral get derailed through light-hearted, self-deprecating humor. Well, excuse me, but it appears my total cluelessness-o-meter just redlined. Charmers go so far as to not only avoid visible offenses, but to bait out negative baggage their targets may repress. They subtly role-play as every archetype the target despises, embellishing perspectives they know will trigger hostility. I guess that does illustrate why so many view us politicians, salesmen, whatever as smarmy phonies, doesn't it? Having now unearthed and worked through any simmering grievances, the target's defenses are effectively disarmed before they've even realized the process happening. All with nobody's feelings truly hurt. Simply the charmer absorbing dishonorable denigration they don't truly believes, sacrificing their virtue for the greater good of psychological catharsis and closure. Immune to suspicion. Disarming antagonists through offset validations and patience is one chip in the charmer's unimpeachable progressive system. The other is seeding constant self-doubt about any accusation by tailoring the positive experiential mirror to each target's individual trauma. For instance, someone once abused by a male authority figure may get initially triggered by a charmer's probing questions, suspecting manipulative duplicity. The charmer will immediately adapt to a more soft-spoken, tender demeanor, conveying perfect unconditional acceptance devoid of agendas. Or those with narcissistic tendencies sensitive to competition may get reminded of their childhood by a charmer's seeming deference. Mirroring the unconditional esteem and elevation they crave instead instills safety. In 1,000 micromodulations aligning with each soul's unique needs, the charmer shapeshifts personas and environments to preemptively dissolve any inklings about ulterior motives before they can form. Even more genius, the unravelings and respinnings are so smooth that targets rarely pinpoint what just happened to allay their doubts. You're simply bathing in the relief that finally, someone sees your truth. As doubts steadily get worn away, each positive precept gets siloed from any potential baggage contaminating them. Then, in a dizzying juggling act, the charmer fertilizes those disparate positive impressions while burying any remaining objections as outlier cases not worth dwelling upon. Over the full seduction cycle, an entire alternate reality gets programmatically rewritten to recast the charmer as that target's indispensable liberator. So while suspicions percolate at first, they drain away faster than a sieve can allow introspection to coalesce. That instant you think you've grasped awareness of the puppet strings, it's already too late. You've surrendered every defense and succumbed to becoming the charmer's marionette. Just smile and dance as the spotlight's golden rays lovingly warm your face. Now something important. Make it a daily habit to learn something truly beneficial that enhances your life. Remember, the content you feed your mind is like nourishment for your brain. Be deliberate in your choices. Otherwise, be wary. Algorithms are often crafted to manipulate your thoughts. Reflect on that. Now, we're excited to announce that we're now welcoming contributions through subscriptions to aid our upcoming projects and bring you exceptional content. Join us by subscribing today